Hello, is it Josh?
Yes.
Hello, this is Anders from Casablanca.
How's it going?
I'm fine.
Well, thank you for taking the time to do this interview with me. I've been checking out the latest album. My girlfriend actually got me into you guys about a year ago, and I've been a fan ever since, and it's just awesome to be able to sit here with you and do this interview.
Thank you. You know, that's what Girlfriends is all about. Getting guys like you into Casablanca. That's perfect. Great. Thanks for having us and having me for tonight. So that's great.
Oh, absolutely, no problem. So how has the reception to the new album been so far?
Well, it's been good. It's been really, really good. It's been more coverage than I think the two predecessors together. So that's great. I mean, we never really have the chance to tour anywhere. So it's slowly but surely we're kind of getting there. We kind of get the name of the band out and the records. People stumble across them, and Girlfriends says that you should listen to it, and so I would say the new album is so much more interest than the other two, but perhaps because it's such a piece of art by itself compared to the other two ones, I guess.
Oh, very much so. I definitely gotta say, I love the diversity of the new album, because it starts off with a 10.5-minute epic, and it goes into so many different styles of rock as well. I mean, it starts off on a very heavy, almost doom-sounding style to begin the album, and then it goes into more of the Casablanca sound, and it goes into so many other great territories. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we thought about it as a musical. So, in a musical or sort of performance, you can go everywhere as long as it tells some part of the story. And you can even have bad songs and shit songs in a musical, because it doesn't get you boring, right? It's not a regular rock and roll album like the two first ones, but I would say it's, at least half of the album is still classic Casablanca rocker.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. The whole middle of the album definitely does have that feel to it.
Yeah, I say so. I mean, there's two reasons that we did this album. For the first time in Casablanca history, we had time together, and if you give a rock band too much time, this is what you do. We try to do the Quadrophenia by the Who, or try to do a Queen, an early Queen album, or music from the Elder, or Pink Floyd album. It's what you do, and we had so many different sounding songs, so we kind of realized quite fast this is not going to be a regular Casablanca album. It's going to be something else. And I said those variety of songs are probably perfect to tell a story, and in fact they have a story. So that's why it sounds like it sounds. It came out like it did.
It's very cool to see, and especially the fact that you are able to open up to so many great styles and still being able to maintain your sound as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's we're a bunch of music lovers, and we never stay true to anything. We love music too much to be true metal or true indie or true punk or true hip hop or whatever. I mean, we love it all. So we'll see where we go from next album. Maybe it's gonna be a jazz album or an R&B album. I doubt it though, but because we're still we're not that good of playing those styles, but we're getting there. So see what happens.
Oh, that's awesome. You have said that the album is a bit like a musical or a concept album. Was it hard to maintain keeping a story going from beginning to end like a concept album, or did it become natural for you?
Well, I didn't want the story to be like a video game going from A to B to C, and then you come to the end. This is actually the first album out of three on the get the characters and tell the story of the characters and their lives and their dreams and what happened like 10 years ago and 100 years ago, and I just wanted to get people kind of familiar with the four main characters. So I would say that's not that much of a storyline on this one. Probably get better, and it's so much easier when people kind of know who Ringo and Peter and Paul and and John is, or Ace and Peter and Gene and Peter. So you know, it's nice to get those characters down, and you know, to people to realize that it's so much easier to kill them off in the Empire Strikes Back. so you know if you get that. I'm not saying I'm gonna kill one of them off, but you know, never know if someone left the band. You know, you never leaves the band. You know, so.
Oh, sure. And so you say that it's going to be part of a 3-album story. Is there any ideas written so far, either lyrically or musically, for the next 2 albums?
Oh yeah, I mean the story that will end like two more albums from now. It's in my head, and I started writing this story in the 80s because I was a really Lovecraftian back then, and I read everything there was, and I started to do in music around that, but it never finished or released it. So I just picked up the story and rewrote it totally. So I have the story, and you know, we in Casablanca we said we never do the same album twice. So even if it's going to be a part 2 or part 3 of Miskatonic Graffiti, I will tell you that it would probably sound nothing like this. Of course, there's going to be those Casablanca rockers in the middle, or in the end, or at the beginning. But I will say we try to crank something new stuff in there. And of course, there's a lot of songs that's been written that we can probably use, and we write all the time, and it's all about time. It's all about getting together again for a couple of months to really play and you know, play in the same room, which we never did on the first 2 albums. We just worked individually, and then we got together and just fired them away in a week or 10 days. So we if we have the time again together for a couple of months, we do the follow-up, and if we don't have the time together, we do an ordinary Casablanca record until we have the time, I guess.
Oh, that is very cool to hear. So with that, do you feel that the music is stronger when all of you are in the same room writing together?
Yeah, I mean, you can do just so much by yourself, and you can you know, toss files to each other and check this out. But something happens when you're in the same room, and you know, you have a couple of bottles of red wine or whatever. You know, you just work it for hours, and you know, you kind of, you know, it's trial and error. You try everything, and I mean, we're not the best players or singers in the world, but we try to be as best as within our frame, and maybe even beyond that. Maybe we can kind of crash that frame and on the next one, because we're still evolving as musicians and writers. I think there's a burning ambition in this band to be a great band together, but even individually, you know, kind of work on those drums, kind of work on that vocal and the guitars and bass and everything, and you know, so it's I would say, even though we're not that young anymore, we still have we're still living like rock and roll children, and really, you know, try to evolve as musicians and a group.
Oh yeah, that definitely does make sense. I mean, the more that you are working together creating new music, the more it inspires everybody that's in the process, and it does make for stronger material that way as well.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens. If someone comes up with an idea, you can ride on that idea, and then it's a wheel that spins faster and faster and faster. And you know, there was so many songs we had like 50 songs for this album, and we had to, you know, cut it down to 25. So then we worked on 25 songs, and it ended up like the 10s on the record, even though there's the two really long ones. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't have time, even though we had time to do a lot of things. We didn't have time to finish them off. So it doesn't become a triple album. It was just that's kind of cool, because if you do a triple album, I will probably never do an interview again. So.
That is great. Speaking of the live aspect, is there any chance of hearing the new album live, or in its entirety, or is it something that you would want to wait until the whole story is complete?
No, that's the plan. I mean, we have a problem in the Casablanca camp, because we never had the chance to tour together. We've been, we've been down to Spain a couple of times, and we did some tour in Sweden. We did a couple of shows here and there. But there's, you can say that we really toured some of, anything really. We've never been anywhere, and so we said we don't have anything to lose. So let's do the whole album. Let's do the whole album and do it as a performance. I don't know, if we play a club for 100 people, it's probably going to be Ramones or Sex Pistols all over again. But we still the plan is to do the whole album, and then maybe we do another set with the two predecessors, so we can go on for like 2 hours, I guess, if people want us. And we said 2016 we're definitely going to play for 6 months of that, half of that year, because we have so much to cover up for.
Oh, that is very cool. So I take it all the planned touring so far in 2016 would just be covering Europe?
No, we just want to go everywhere. I mean, Josephine lives in LA now, and so that would be closer to home for her if we could play the States. And of course it's all about we want to go, but if you guys don't want us, then we're kind of screwed, I guess.
Well, I would definitely love to see you guys hit America at some point.
Yeah, hopefully. I used to go there from time to time. I always enjoy it. I always enjoy America. I mean, if you take the first album, The Apocalyptic Youth, so it kind of inspired us. And Ryan still in the family of Casablanca, and probably he'll come back in a couple of years when he's done with whatever he's doing at the time. So of course we'll try to do everything to get there.
Oh, that is very cool to hear, and especially the idea of doing a 2-hour show, being able to showcase the older material and of course the new album as well. That's a really cool concept.
Yeah, like 5 years from now we have to do the whole story, like 3 hours show, and then the encore for another hour. That was going to be something. Well, but then again, if you go and see a Leonard Cohen show, he is like, wait, he's like 80 years old, and he sings for 4 hours. So of course we can do it. So
yeah, it's entirely possible. Or even the idea of like doing it over 3 nights, like doing an album a night. That could also work as well.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that was a good idea. So I think of course we're gonna try to get some stage show surrounding the concept, but it's all about money in the end. You can have paper mache and we try to get something together.
That's very true. It really does come down to money, and hopefully it does work out for you guys to be able to make this all come to fruition.
Yeah, I think we will probably every penny we will stuff into touring and everything. If you're away, you just want some pennies for the rent. You don't you eat on the road and you drink on the road, so you don't have that. You don't need that much money touring.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
So just getting back into what would be the next release, would that be something that would be recorded in 2016?
I think we start arranging it, writing songs and recording albums. That's the easiest part of Casablanca. The hardest part is always arranging the songs and try to find a new custom for every song, and where is this song going? What are we looking at? What are we looking for? If you listen to a record and hear a song, Rainbow on stage or whatever, we gotta have a song like that. That will probably fulfill the whole concept, and we try to write that song, or maybe we have a song. So arranging songs, that's what takes eons, and that's what I think we will be able. It matters how much touring is going to be, but I would say the next fall, like the fall of 2016, we probably get together in LA and arrange for a couple of months, and then we go back to Sweden and record, I guess. That's the plan for now. So.
Oh, very cool. Considering how busy you guys have been with this concept and definitely getting things rolling bigger and better for Casablanca, have you had any chance to listen to any new 2015 music yet?
Oh, not that much. Not that much at all. We 2015 music. Of course, I listen to a lot of new stuff. I do, but not that much rock or metal. I don't think it's really there. There's not that many new rock bands or metal bands that I really enjoy. It's more other types of music that we listen to, and I think that's kind of cool because it makes our rock a little bit more interesting, I guess.
I actually do agree with that a lot, because the more outside influences of what you play outside of what you normally play does inspire a lot of creativity as well, because it helps you think of ideas that you normally wouldn't think of.
Yeah, I mean, right here, I don't know how it is in America, but right here in Europe, there's a lot of tribute bands, sort of. You know, they kind of they are so alike the original bands, so you can it's it's not that interesting. I think that's not what rock and roll is all about, because that makes rock and roll conservative, and I mean, rock and roll it's such a liberation, and it's such a rebelism and everything, and escapism and everything. So I think, why go back? I mean, of course I listen to old records, and I love the old bands, and you can't, but you know, you have to give rock and roll a shot in the arm, and maybe it's not that, you know, really heavy or hard or, you know, hardcore stuff that's gonna reinvent rock and roll. Maybe it's just more softer or smoother, you know, a touch to it. I don't know, but no, I'm maybe not the guy who's gonna invent the wheel again, but at least I will die trying.
Well, I can absolutely say that I am a fan of you guys since my girlfriend helped me get into you guys, and what I love about you guys is that it is so solid. Like, it doesn't feel like any of the songs are forced or anything. It feels like it's completely solid, and you guys are in it for the right reasons.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we become something of a music collective, and you know, we're just music lovers. We always meet up and, you know, and really enjoy music and try write music and try to make sense in a way, and staying creative. I mean, staying creative, it makes us happy. That's exactly what makes us happy, you know. And of course, a little red wine here and there and some party, but you know, making music and staying creative, that's the big drug for Casablanca.
Oh, that is very good to hear, and I hope that continuation of the creativity will continue to flow as long as the band keeps going.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so as well. I mean, if it doesn't, we'll probably, you know, put it to sleep, I guess.
Oh, that definitely does make sense. I mean, as soon as it stops being fun and it stops being a creative process, then all of the joy being able to write new music does go away.
Yeah, because, you know, you can hear that everywhere, and you can look back in time, and you can look at, you know, some other great artists today who try to really, you know, to really make it happen, and it really doesn't happen anymore. So, you know, it's, you know, fame costs in a way. It's not, you know, it's kind of it's like a cancer. When you have a hit song, it's like a, you know, so many good bands back then and now who have that hit song, and it's, you know, it's just ruined them.
It is actually really true, because as soon as a band seems to hit that mega hit, they seem to think that they can only write in that style, and they have to just write clone.
Throughout rock and roll history and pop history, that's just the start of the end, in a way. It's always ends with a you know, the whole decline starts with that big hit song. So we'll hope we don't never get a hit then.
Well, I do hope the popularity does continue to rise, but I like you said, I hope that never happens where you do have the mega hit that nobody will seem to be able to match or care about afterwards, that you're able to maintain being creative and being happy with the work that you produce.
Yeah, I mean, we're an album band. I think we're making albums, and people listen to albums instead of songs. I know that's like commercial suicide in 2015, because everyone just listens to one song, or, you know, there's, but you know, we try to get the album back.
Well, I'm glad to hear that too, because ever since I grew up listening to music, I've always been an album guy. I want to be able to hear like all the sides of what the band has to offer, not just the most commercial song. Being able to hear how heavy they get, or how poppy they get, or how whatever genre they decide to get into, just being able to see how all the songs flow together into an album.
Yeah, I mean that's the it's like doing a piece of art, a painting or an installation. It's really nice. You can't just have one frame of whatever you try to do. I mean it's really nice. And as I like the Blue Oyster Cult sang, we even have time to listen to the B-sides.
Oh, that's great, and I'm glad that you guys have that mentality as well. I mean, like you said, it is almost commercial suicide to care about an album in 2015, but I
think so. But
I personally believe in music that things do continue in cycles, and I believe one day that the album will start to matter again.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, we don't stay true to anything. I say we stay true to music, and like every musical style there really is. I think we really love music and stay true to that. And I mean, we all grew up to listen to albums, and even if that changes. I mean, I have a friends have a band, they just do an EPs, and I think that's great as well, like 4 to 6 songs, but it's more than just one song. The cool thing with doing those EPs that they say is that, you know, every song is great. You don't have to do those 3, 4, you know, fillers. So that's a kind of cool thing to do, and you can release them quite more often. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but for now, Casablanca is an album band.
Well, I am glad to hear that, and as being an album fan, I hope that trend continues to happen.
Yeah, I hope so as well.
Well, thank you for taking the time to do this interview. It's been a tremendous honor to be able to talk to you, and I hope at some point I would be able to catch you guys in the United States.
I hope so, Yash, and thanks to you, and say hello to your girlfriend, by the way.
I indeed will.
She's responsible for this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure she's gonna love this coverage once she finds out that she's a part of the interview now.
Cool.
All right, so just one last thing. Is there anything else that you'd like to bring up or mention that I have not brought up yet?
Well, I have an interview in 1 minute. No, I would say I can't really come up with anything. I mean, there's so much stuff to tell you. So I think you have to interview me again in a year or half a year from now. So yeah,
I would absolutely love to.
Yeah, I give you more of the or whatever. So let's go. Let's talk again.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely love to do it. Anytime that you guys have new music or anything that you want to promote or anything, I am absolutely for it.
That's great, Josh.